Hi, and welcome to Cooking with Miss Brenda. And I'm excited that you joined us today. I'm especially excited because I have some very special guests with me. And they are not really guests for me because they're my family. And I promised you last week that my family would be with me. And here they are. I want to introduce you to my precious mom. And her name is Bernie. I just call her Mom. And my grandsons. This is
Mike. What's up?
Jason.
And Jason. And I really am excited. I really wanted them to cook with me today, but they decided they were needed urgently out somewhere else, right? They had something better to do probably, but I am making my famous lemonade cake. And it was famous by one day because I really perfected the recipe yesterday. I have a vegan recipe that is online. And then I created this non-vegan recipe of lemonade cake for us. And I'm going to prepare that today. And Jason, what was it you told me that you loved about this cake?
What?
The lemonade cake. You said you liked it so much you wanted it for what?
Oh, my birthday.
That's right. He's got a birthday coming up, and so he liked it for his birthday. So it's a special cake. So you guys, you're going to get some afterwards. I'll make sure I save you some. And they wanted to set this one out, right?
Yep.
And Mom is going to come back at the end. You want to stay with me for a little while, Mom?
Not really.
Not really. She just... Okay, so but Mom did promise to come back and have be a taster for at the end when we taste the cake, right?
Better.
Okay, all right. So I'll see you in a little bit, and the boys are gonna leave us for right now. But I am really excited about this recipe. I have a vegan recipe that's online, and this recipe is online as well. Both of them are lemonade cakes, just one is the vegan recipe. So for those of you, just if you go to kidsclubforjesus.org, then you can get both recipes if you want. This one, you'll need 3 cups of flour, a half a teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 box of lemon pudding and pie filling, that's the kind you cook, 1 cup of low-fat buttermilk, 2 tablespoons of lemon zest, 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice, 1 cup of butter, 2 cups of sugar, 3 eggs, and then there's a syrup that goes on after it's baked, and that's 1/4 a cup of water, 1/4 a cup of sugar, and 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. And then for the glaze, you will need 1 cup of powdered sugar and 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. Now, this is a really easy recipe to do. It's basically in 3 steps as we're making it. Probably the most time-intensive part of the recipe is actually preparing your lemons and your juice. And you can see this is a fairly huge lemon right here, and it's beautiful lemon. And I wanted to show you there's many ways that you can zest a lemon. Someone asked me the other day, how do you zest a lemon? What is lemon zest? A zest of a lemon is just the peel of a lemon. And you only want the yellow part because if you go down too deep, you get the pulpy part, and that's bitter. And so that's not going to make your recipe taste good. So what I like to use, you can use a grater to do it if you want, to get the zest off of it. But what I love is a lemon zester. This is actually a tool. It, it's a couple dollars. They're not expensive. And and I'm going to just show it to you. And maybe I'll have Melissa take a picture of it. We can post it online and give you an idea of what this looks like. Maybe she'd probably find some picture online. That's what I'm guessing. But Melissa, our general manager for Kids Club for Jesus, is here today. Say hi, Melissa.
Hello, everyone.
She likes to stay behind the scenes one of these times. Actually, why don't you come and say hi? You want to just come say hi real quick? Yeah, come on in and say hi. Since my family came and said hi, I think it's only fair that Melissa comes hi and says hi too. So come on in.
Hello, everyone.
Everyone, there really is a Melissa. This is Melissa. She actually was my assistant for almost 12 years.
Forever, yeah.
And forever. We've been together, Lily, in ministry for almost 12 years. I don't know what I'd do without her. And she is my right arm. And she is now officially our general manager of Kids Club for Jesus, our brand new children's ministry that we feature on-demand programs and also lots of, what are some of the other things on the website that they can do?
Well, we have nature activities to download about animals. We have science activities. We've got crafts. There's, of course, the videos to watch. There's a ton of videos to watch. There's Bible lessons that you can, take online. right now I'm blanking because you totally,
Caught you off
totally
guard.
got me off guard. So it's like, what's your name? I don't know.
Well, tell them about our brand new program. Every week we try to add new programs every week to our lineup,
Okay.
and we just started a new program. In fact, we just uploaded. It's available now.
I'm not sure if it's available quite yet because we're working on designing some things to put it up there, but
Okay,
soon.
so it'll be up
Hopefully
there.
hopefully by Monday. Yes.
By Monday, it'll be up there, and tell them about the new program.
Sure. So it's Miss Brenda's bedtime stories, but it's Miss Brenda actually reading the story to you rather than you reading it yourself. So it's a lot more fun. And we've added some visual excitement, I guess, to the stories. So you're not gonna want to miss it. The first one is a squirrel's tale. So when we have that up, we'll put an announcement on there, and I think you guys will love it.
Because there's a lot of what we call B-roll, but it's video. So while I'm reading, you're not just having to see my, face the whole time. You get to see what I'm reading about. So for instance, on the first story is a squirrel's tale. When I'm talking about, and a squirrel went scurrying up the tree, you actually can see a squirrel go scurrying up the tree.
See how exciting this is going to be?
It really is going to be so fun, and I think you guys are going to love it. And I'm going to actually really do every single story in all 5 volumes.
Might take us a while.
It's going to take us a
little
while,
bit, yeah.
but they did just an excellent. Our video editor Gary Will is incredibly talented, and Melissa is her talent is off the charts as well. And she really helps find all those pictures that go in there, and then Gary edits them all together, and it comes out a really nice product. And then our graphic designer, CQ, she puts all those little fine finishing touches on it, and then actually puts it on the website so that you can watch it. And
Yeah, they're going to be a lot of fun. So check them out on the website.
so it'll be available at kidsclubforjesus.org, as well as our free app. You can download, go to your app store, type in Kids Club for Jesus, and you can watch right on your phone or your iPad or tablet.
And you never know, we might actually contact you guys for some B-roll, some pictures if we can't find something. So maybe we'll reach out to you and ask for some help.
Yeah, we can say, can you send us a picture of you doing this or that or whatever,
Exactly.
and that you might, and then you'll find yourself on the program.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Absolutely.
I'm really excited. Well, thank you,
All
Melissa.
right.
This takes a lot to get her up here. I can tell you that. She doesn't. Maybe if you could get Mom a chair, because I don't want her to stand that whole time. And then we will start with our recipe. Okay, so I've read the recipe to you, and that was fun having everybody on, wasn't it? So we've got our big lemon. What we're going to do is zest this lemon with this lemon zester. And Melissa, if you could find a picture, we'll show them in a close-up of what a lemon zester is. But it makes zesting a lemon so fast and so easy. And what you do is I've washed this lemon. You always wash your fruit first. And then there's the little tool at the end is sharp. So what you're going to do is you're going to just take and go right across the lemon and just turn it as you go, because you don't want that white pulpy stuff underneath, just the yellow. And look at that. And I'm going to just zest a little more, because I'm going to actually show you this cake ahead of time so you can see what it's like. And isn't this fun? It's just so easy, and you get the right amount of lemon. And you don't have to, because if you have a grater and you push too hard, you're going to get too much of the lemon zest, and then it's not going to be tasting so zesty. And look at that. And it smells so good, too. I wish this was smell-o-vision, because you would love this. So now let me show you what we're going to do. I'm going to put this over here and wipe my hands, because I've got lemon zest all over it. But they smell so good. I want to show you. I'm going to come in front of the camera here just so you can see. Look at this. I want to, and tell me, Melissa, do I need to turn it a certain way or get closer?
I don't know. I have such a delay over here. You haven't even put that cake up yet.
Okay. So I wanted just for you to see right in here. And you can see how moist and nice. I cut it so that you can see on the outside. But now, you see this?
Yes. It looks amazing.
Okay. All right. There we go. So here's what I'm going to do. I've already frosted this one, but I'm going to just take a little of this and just go like this. And look at how pretty that is, huh? All right, so I'll put this back over here. And because we don't have, you know, a couple hours for you to hang around while cakes are baking, I have made another cake that's all ready for the next stage when we get there. So that's ready. So you'll see me frost that one. Let me put this over here because we won't need that anymore. And I'm going to preheat my oven for 325. Most cakes you see at 350, but this is actually going to be 325, and you're going to bake this for about 55 to 60 minutes. And don't want to overbake it because then it's a drier cake. So I have already zested our lemon. I have it, and then you slice the lemons after you've zested it, and you squeeze it. And well, you know, I could show you how to do that too. Let me see that real quick, because some of you might not have one of these. You can use any kind of juicer that you have will work fine for you. Sometimes the old-fashioned kind that you just squeeze down there and then dump the juice, that works. I love this little contraption. It has it comes in 3 parts, and it goes like this. And I put the top part on it, and then I'm going to just, oops, my knife almost fell on the floor. I'm going to just cut the lemon in half, and if I see any visible seeds like that, I just kind of take them out, but it won't matter. And then let me show you right here. It goes right on here, and you just press down, and I twist. I just press down and twist, and this is a fairly large lemon, so let's see here. And then let me show you. Just take this off, and it measures. See, there's a measuring tape, and there's your juice inside of there. Isn't that awesome? And it's so easy to do. But since we don't need that right now, I'm going to put this all over here and wipe my hands on this towel over here. So we have our mixing bowl, and what we have first is we're going to put our butter in here, and this is room temperature butter. It's already room temperature, and I have my sugar over here. I'm going to take these lids out. I don't know if you've seen these before. These kind of everything is clear containers for me, and you push it in there and it seals it tight with just pushing it. It's like that. So I'm going to just take those lids off right now over here. So this is our powdered sugar. We don't want that one. But we're going to put in our 2 cups of this sugar right over here. And, okay. And then we're going to just cream this. Now, plug your ears for a moment. You can even put it on mute so you don't have to hear. Hopefully it won't go everywhere, because this is a shallow bowl, not a typical mixing bowl. And I was hoping that you'd be able to see through it and see what I'm doing. So I'm going to try low and see if I can get it without spraying everything all over the place. That's here. We're just going to mix that up. And so far, it's doing pretty good. Praise the Lord for that, because I had visions of it going everywhere. Let me just scooch this with and you're just creaming the butter and the sugar together. That's what we're doing here. And it really does need to be room temperature butter, and it was. I had it sitting out for a while. Okay, so that looks good. And now we're going to add our eggs just one at a time. Okay, so there we go. And that's 1. Let's put that one in there. Whew. There we go. Okay, now we're going to put our other one in. And I always like to do them in another bowl first, just in case you might get an eggshell in there, and I really don't like eggshells in there. And I'm going to go ahead and get this next one ready to go. And see, just like that, we don't want an eggshell. And that way this is ready for me to add. So we're only adding them, mixing them one at a time. And I can Okay, oops, I see I did get a tiny bit in there. Okay, and then the last one like that. Just like that. Now you can see how creamy and nice that is. Can you see that on the camera, Melissa? Can you look and see? If it's...
It smells amazing.
When this came out of the oven and the boys tasted it last night, Jason said, "Oh, Grandma, his birthday's in July." He says, "That's going to be my birthday cake right there." So, all right. So now we have our eggs incorporated in it, and now we're going to just set this aside for a minute, and we're going to mix our dry ingredients. Now this takes 3 cups of flour, and when you have, let me just grab a knife here. Because when you measure this flour, some people like to just, go like this and shake it off and put it in. This needs to be an accurate measurement. So when you do that, you're going to take a knife and you're going to level off the top. That's what it means. So you can see that right there. It's flat. We need 3 of those. So we're going to go right in here, and I get a little more than I need is fine because we're leveling it off, just like that. And that was fun. And then, okay, so then there's another one. Level that off. Now there's our 3 cups of flour accurately. And then we have a half a teaspoon of baking soda. And we're just going to take half of here like this and put it right in there. And we need a half a teaspoon of salt. And then I'm going to tell you one of the secret ingredients in this recipe that makes it so yummy. This cake is so moist, and the lemons in it is just, you need like 4 to 5 lemons for this whole recipe. It is like just the most intense, delicious lemon flavor you'll ever put in your mouth. It is amazing. And one of the things that is the secret ingredient for this that makes it so moist and so lemony and so good is the lemon pudding and pie filling. And you're going to put it right in your dry ingredients, okay? So I'm opening just one box. It's a 2.9 ounce size box. And I'm just going to tear it open, and we're going to put it right in here. Just like that. And we'll put that in there. And then we're going to just stir this together. Now what this does when you stir all these together is that it helps make sure that it's your spices, seasoning, baking soda, baking powder, whatever it is you're baking with in any dish. It's good to do this in any cake you're making because it makes sure that everything's dispersed evenly and you're going to have a better cake. So that's what I'm doing right here. So just, it might look like, oh yeah, it's good together. I like to make sure it's really just nicely mixed in there and that everybody's happy and getting along right in there, okay? All right, so now we'll put that over there. And we have another secret ingredient is buttermilk. And I have the low-fat buttermilk right here. You're going to mix your zest of your lemon that I had already done. And now here's all the juice that I've already juiced. And we're going to put in, we're going to put in 2 tablespoons of this. And so here's 1 tablespoon. So let's put in 2. And this is right into the buttermilk. Goes right in there. 2 of those. Maybe just a touch, because I think I missed a tiny bit. And you don't want to miss any of that lemon. And then I'm going to get a fork here, and we're going to just mix that right there. Now, here's the next step. And this really isn't that hard so far, right? Everybody with me so far? And if you have any questions, let me know. Melissa's also sending me text right here. Someone's asking what I do with those cakes when I'm done. What I do with the cakes when I'm done, well, I give them away to friends because if I ate them all, I'd be as big as 3 barns. But I love to cook, love to bake, and I love to share. The real joy of baking or cooking is in the giving. One of the things that my mama taught me from the time I was little is about really the gift of giving, because the gift of giving is something you're giving yourself, that joy. It is such a good feeling inside to make somebody else happy. So I always say the real joy in cooking and baking is in the pleasing and in the giving. So I give it away. I think my brother is coming down this week, so we're going to have on Sabbath, we're going to have such a huge family gathering that we're having a big meal together, and I can promise these cakes are probably going to go there. It says, what if you don't have fresh lemons? Can you use the bottled stuff? No. I would try a different, I would make something different. I wouldn't even try this recipe without real lemons. It will not be the same. And the bottled lemon has a fake flavor to it. And to me, that would just spoil your cake. I wouldn't even make this recipe without fresh lemons. I promise you, you'd want to make something different. I didn't get connected here, so let me see if I can get us connected. And it's coming up. Sometimes these technology is really slow. Be the same. Oh, and there we go. And that gets turned mute, so we don't have to hear that. My oven just told me it's ready, and so there we go. And it says, can we use the instant pudding mix, or does it have to be the cook and serve? You know, I'm not sure about that. I use the cook and serve. I'd have to actually make it up and to try it and find out. But if you want to try it and let me know, I would love that. Just try it and let me know, and you can tell me if that works or not. Let's see here. We have a lot of people here that join us. Rhonda, hi. Yeah, that is a huge lemon. And let's see. We have Isa joined us. Hi, Isa. And Ash. Oh, it's nice to have you. Ash joins us all the way from South Africa, and she's actually our administrator on this page, Kids Club for Jesus on Facebook. And we really love and appreciate it. She also... Ash does a lot to help us in marketing for our network. So she's got many titles and many hats she wears. She's a very busy girl. And the thing I love about her the most is how much she loves Jesus. She just works tirelessly. Let's see. We have, Jeannie is joined us. And Jeannie, hi. Thank you for joining us. Jeannie, I've known since she was a young girl. I used to be your Sabbath school teacher, and she now lives not very far from me. So I'm glad you joined us, Jeannie. All right. So now we have this, the flour's all, happy. They're all mixed together, getting along in there. We have our creamed sugar mixture in here. And now we have our butter mixture. Now we have to combine all these. But let me just share a little tip. Anytime you're making any cake, you will want to combine them. You don't dump all the flour in and fix it, and then all the liquid and put in there, or put them all together. Because if you dump all your liquid in all at once, then what tend to happen is that the creamy mixture separates, your batter separates, and you're not going to have as nice a cake. If you add all the flour at once, you're going to have to overbeat it to even get it smooth, and so now you're going to have a tough cake. So in any type of cake, it's always good to alternate your dry ingredients and your wet ingredients. And so this is like this. So I'm going to take this right now, and I'm going to just add just a little bit of the dry, and we're going to incorporate that. And then I don't need this fork anymore in here, though. Let's take that out. And then we'll add a little bit of that. So here, let's get this together. And again, I'm trying not to get the flour going everywhere. And so now you can see that that's mixed up. So now I'm just going to pour a little bit of the wet ingredient, and that's our buttermilk and our lemon juice that makes it so yummy, and our lemon zest. And you wait till that's mixed, and then we're going to put in some more of our flour. And you're just going to keep alternating until it's all combined into one dish here, and all of it's combined. And that really is just the secret of having a really tender cake, one that has a good texture, that's not too heavy. And you've probably seen many times it tells you to alternate. Well, now you know why. Now we're just going to have a little bit of the wet again. And that just spit up at me. So try not to wear this recipe. And let's see right here. Put this right here. My mom's watching over there. Anytime you want to jump in and help, Mom, come right on back. You're welcome. She's shaking her head no. She's laughing. I do want to thank my grandsons, I tell you, for coming on. They're not ones to be in front of the camera. They like being behind the camera. Okay, so now just a little more of the wet. Right, like that. And just keep on wet, dry, just keep. Oh, this is looking really good. Put some more of this in. And we'll add a little more wet ingredient next. That buttermilk really does make a big difference. One thing that you can do if you don't have buttermilk is you can take regular milk and put some lemon juice in it and let it set for a little bit. And that will kind of curdle it. Let's see here. I'm going to put in a little because it's getting harder to... Well, I probably will make a mess if I do that, right? Let me just put some of this in here, and then I think that's almost done. Oh, this is looking so good, and it smells so good. Let's see. Now a little more of the wet. And you can see those little zest pieces, the little lemon zest throughout it. Makes it so yummy. Okay. And it's a medium speed. You don't want it too fast or too slow. Okay. And I'll put the last of the wet ingredient in there. Almost done. It's nice and fluffy. Yep. Okay, I'm going to do this one thing here so I can get all that moisture out. See how much more came out of here when I just used the rubber spatula to get the rest of it out? And one second. And let me just put the rest of this in here. And let me go throw it here. That's it. So now I'm going to just finish mixing this up. And this is the last step. Okay. There we go. Ooh, this is looking good. Can you see this? There we go. Almost done. Okay. Let me just get the beaters. I don't want to lose all this that's in the beaters here, so I just get in there because there's a lot of that lemon zest that gets caught up in the beaters, and I want to make sure all that gets into the cake. Okay, and let's see here. There we go. Oh, this is so good. Okay, so I'm getting some of that out, and now what we're going to do is we're going to prepare our Bundt Pan. This is what this looks like. It's a non-stick inside, and it looks like this. There's many different designs that you can have that were pretty Bundt Pans. And what you're going to use is, I use the pan, the baking spray, because it has flour in here. And if you don't have this, then you can use a regular one, but you will need to flour your pan. So spray generously with the original. Put some flour in here, shake it all around, tap out the excess, and you'll have a floured pan. But this just takes the work right out of it. I think I need that spatula right here. I don't want to take that away. Yep. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Look in here. You can see how it gets white in here. Be generous. Okay. And make sure you get this inside right here too. So that's the cake. Anywhere the cake batter is going to be, that's what you want to make sure. And all the way up to the top because it's going to rise. So nice and generous. Look at how generous that is. See? Now we're just going to scoop the batter right into, I got to stir in that little bit of that lemon zest that came in. So now we're just going to scoop that batter right in here. And I try not to get it on the edges. I try to just get it right inside. And this is a lot of lemony goodness right here, I tell you. I'm so excited to have my family with me this week. I'm sure all of you that are starting to be out of lockdown have to be so excited just to be around people again. I live in Tennessee, so our lockdown is being lifted and stores are open, and it's like it's like anything that you take for granted until you don't have it anymore, and then you really realize you appreciate what you used to have and don't have anymore. And so I'm excited that my family is here. Let's see here. Whoops. Some of that went right down the middle and on the floor. Mom's laughing at me over there. Hey, my table's clean. I can still put it in the cake, you know? I'm trying to... probably should have got a different kind of scooper over here, but let's see here. Mom's going, okay, you got a lot on the table. Well, Mom, feel free to jump in here anytime you want. Yeah, she's helping me out here. Let's see if we have any comments over here. Can you use any kind of milk? I wouldn't recommend it with this recipe, but I do have a vegan recipe on the website that you can use for lemonade cake, and you don't have to use dairy products in that one. But this one, you definitely need the buttermilk. And I'm not a person that ever liked to drink buttermilk. My mom likes buttermilk, but I never was a person that liked to drink it. But I do like to cook with it because it makes. I made my grandson some homemade biscuits today and gravy, and my biscuits raised so high because I had buttermilk in there. I thought, oh, I don't always use buttermilk. But what a difference it made. I said, Grandma, these are the... Everybody don't look. Just close your eyes for 2 seconds. Here you go. Mom, I can see you over there. Get every last drop, she's saying. And I am, okay? All right, now. Now, if you can see I got a little on the edge here. I just took that right off like that. Let me just rinse my hands real quick. I have another towel over here. And let me just show you what that looks like. See? And we're going to put this in the oven for 55 minutes. Melissa, would you set the timer for 55 minutes, please? And she's going to let me know when that is. And so I'm going to just put it in. It's already preheated. And 55 minutes, that's going to come out absolutely beautiful. Let me just wipe my table down and I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. Because when it comes out, it's going to look like this. Woo! Now, when it comes out of the oven, I'm going to show you how to make the glaze. And let me just put this right over here. And for the glaze, we're just going to get 1/4 cup of water. And let me get the 1/4 cup over here. So here's 1/4 cup of water and put it in our pan because we're going to cook this. Let me put our burner on. And then we're going to use 1/4 cup of sugar. And I'm going to need one of these over here. So, and we're just going to stir that together and let that come to a boil, and it like makes a syrup. And we're going to just let that just come to a boil on here. And once it does, I have a little brush that we're going to brush it on. And you don't want to you don't want to be fast when you brush it on because you want it to absorb in the cake. Because you want, when the cake is still warm, this goodness, because here we got fourth a cup of water, fourth a cup of sugar to make a syrup, but then we're putting 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice in that. So can you imagine that lemony goodness just being soaked up in your cake? Oh, it is unbelievably. It gives it that little fresh lemon tang that, makes it pop. And then while this is getting ready to boil, and it won't hurt for just set there for a second to get happy. It needs to just boil up and get happy. What we're going to do is we're going to make our frosting, and you can use any kind of bowl if you want for frosting. I've got just a measuring cup that I'm going to put in here, and let me get a spoon. And we have a cup of powdered sugar and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So let's get our lemon juice right over here. And remember, I've already have plenty of lemon juice right here. And so you're going to get 2 of these. And my mom's been watching at home every week, these cooking programs. And so now it's so nice to have her. You don't see her right now, but she's right behind the camera. It's so nice to have her here. Mom, I love you. So now we're just going to mix this up. And you don't need a hand mixer for this. All you need is a little elbow grease, That's what Mom says, elbow grease. You're just going to as fast as you can like that. And it's good exercise, and it's so much fun. And you get to burn a lot of more calories so you can, work up an appetite to eat that cake, right? So, and you want it to be like maybe the thickness of molasses. If I like this is probably need to have a little bit more powdered sugar, and you just judge it by what you need. I'm just going to put a touch more in. You don't have to be accurate. If you get it too much in, put a little more lemon juice. Cannot mess this up at all. And so let me see. Yep, it's perfect. It is absolutely perfect. Now we're going to let me let it boil a little more, and then I'm going to put my lemon juice in it. Almost, because you want it to be like a syrup. So I've turned my burner off, and I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of this to here. And this is just that fresh squeezed lemon juice. It is so good. So now I'm just going to mix those 2 together, and it doesn't have to boil anymore after it boils like that. I think I made Melissa a little nervous over there. She's like, I was just having your back, and she does. She's making sure everything is all okay. Yeah, she's been there before when actually, lids come popping off of a blender and it goes spewing everywhere, and where I went to flip a cake and the cake went whoops, she's been through all those embarrassing moments. So, yeah. All right, so here we have just a little bit of lemon glaze, and what you're going to do is you're going to just brush it on slowly so that it absorbs into the cake, just like that, and go all the way around the cake just to incorporate that juice. It'll sink down into that cake. It makes it even extra moist and extra tangy. And if a little bit gets on the plate, don't worry about it. It won't hurt a thing. But you want to your goal is to do it slow so that it sinks in to the cake and actually absorbs into the cake. And and you do this while the cake is hot and while it's warm. So I've already put some on this cake so it doesn't have to have all this, but I figured why not? It can't be bad. It's so good, And so I'll just put a little bit more on here. And you will use all of this. You just keep going around and round and round till it all absorbs in there. And then you're done with that. And then the last thing, you have to let this cool. And when it's cool completely, this mixture that we just did, you're going to take and just drizzle it like this. And I go on the top because some of it's going to drizzle down. And let it drizzle naturally. It makes its own pretty pattern that way. And just I just pour it on the top and let it just go where it wants to go. And it's going to have a mind of its own anyway, you know. And just like that. And it's going to just dribble where it needs to dribble. Over here at the top. So Melissa doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to invite her to come on and taste this cake as well, because she absolutely loved this cake. And and look at how nice that looks. And I'm going to use all of it. And I probably could have made that even a little bit thicker. It doesn't have to be, but I could have. You know, but this is more of a glazy. You know, you'll see the other one. In fact, I'll show you. Oh, that's so good. If you can see the difference, this is when it's a little bit thicker. And of course, this is dried. And this is a little bit thinner. Either way is fine. I probably prefer this, so I would have done it a little bit thicker. But neither one is going to be a problem. Okay, so while your cake is cooking, let's say this is 55 minutes, and I want to see if I've set the timer for 55, I'm really going to check it in 50. Everybody's oven is different. Sometimes your oven runs a little hot, some run a little, cooler. And so I'm always checking, because you don't want to over bake this cake. You will ruin all that moisture that's in there. You don't want it to dry out. You want it to be done. So I have a wooden toothpick for cakes. These are your little skewers. And what you're going to do is you're going to stick that down halfway into the middle, because you want to get into the middle of the cake. If you stick it too far down, what you're going to get is what's really at the bottom, which cooks faster. And I want to know what that middle of that cake is like. So I'm just going to stick it like halfway down and pull it right out. And if it comes out clean, it is ready to go. If it comes out with just a little bit of crumbs on it, that's fine too. Pull it out. So I'm looking at my oven. I'm going to turn the oven light on so I can see. And it's got a ways to go in there. So we aren't going to be able to pull that out of the oven and show you. But you do see that finished product right here and what it would look like. So let me see if you have any other kind of questions that you have. I see Lachelle is here. And Gerda, my friend Gerda from Frankfurt, Germany is here. Gerda, thank you for joining us. And stay tuned, because my mom is coming on next, and Melissa, to taste this cake. So I would love for you to meet them. And Georgiana has joined us, and also Nimwell and his family have joined us. Hey guys, it's so glad you have. You will want to take this cake, and I promise you, if you take this to a church potluck, they will be asking you to bring it every week. It really is that good. So we're going to bring our tasters out now. And Melissa, I can tell you, you've been waiting for this moment, haven't you? And look at this. Isn't that good? So come on in, guys. And this is the moment you've been waiting for. I'm going to get so come on in, Melissa. Here, you get a fork, and you can come right over here behind me so you can so here's your fork. Here's your fork.
I can't even complain about this. I'm good with this.
Tell them what you said about this cake when it came out last night.
Well, I said so many things, but I said when I left this cake yesterday, I had severe separation anxiety, because this is like a long lost relative right here.
I started laughing when she said that. Okay, so you're going to get a nice big piece, Melissa, because I know that you love this cake.
You might need to give me two, because I promised Ash that I would, have a taste for her. So.
Oh, well, there you go.
So maybe this is enough for her and me. Well, or maybe I'll have another piece later off camera.
So I'll give you a piece, Mom, and then also can you taste it for Lachelle, because I know my friend Lachelle and Gerda are going to want this too. So, and everybody else, you're going to have to carry the burden here, Mom, for everybody right here. Okay. So here's your cake.
I'm going to wait so we can taste together. Okay.
All right, here you go. And this is what it looks like in there.
Where's yours?
Huh?
Where's yours?
Well, I gave my plate away, but you go right ahead.
There's a plate right there.
Huh?
There's a plate.
I thought I gave it to the boys, but okay. Let's see. Here we.
You got a fork?
I don't have a fork in here, but I got a spoon, and a spoon is good. The spoon is good. Okay. So may have one here. All right. I'll get one of these too, because this is really yummy goodness right here. All right.
All right.
Well, let you
Cheers.
know.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh yeah.
This is good.
Excuse us.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
This is better than good.
That's amazing.
You
It
can
was
do this
amazing.
for my birthday too.
Okay.
Everybody's birthday.
Yeah.
Ashes for you.
Yep. And Lachelle, Gerda, everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody else that joined us, this is so good. The moisture in here, I think is really just what makes this cake. It's not dry at all, and it has such a just intense lemon flavor because of all this fresh lemon.
Dad would say this is very musty cake.
Yeah, yeah. My dad had a saying. He'd say if Daddy liked something, he would say, "Oh, this is musty. Must have some more." And it is pretty musty. Must have some more. Mm.
Okay. If you're done with me, I'm gonna go over there and just shovel this in.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. Well, let's see if we have any more comments and any questions. I do want to remind you of next week's recipes. Their options. We're doing salad for next week, and we have these are your options. We have Polish potato salad, Thai noodle salad, spicy BLT salad, and walnut farro salad. And I can tell you every single one of those are my favorite. So I'm really curious about which one you're going to vote for. I think, Melissa, have you already posted the pictures?
I gotta draw her.
She can't talk to me. She's got a mouth full of cake. But if they're not already posted, they will be shortly. And you can start putting your vote in. Votes end at 6 o'clock Sunday night. That's 6 o'clock Eastern time. So the winner is posted right after that to let you know which recipe I'll be making for next Wednesday. So this is really lots of fun. I want to also tell you I have a group on Facebook called Daily Scripture from Brenda Walsh Ministries. And they're really beautiful pictures with scripture text on it. And they're a wonderful way to share God's Word. So I encourage you to just join our group, Daily Scripture from Brenda Walsh Ministries, and just enjoy witnessing and encouraging others with just sharing Scripture. It really is a really non-threatening way to share God's Word. Even people that don't really necessarily profess to be a Christian have told me they've appreciated those pictures. And so I want to invite you to do that. Also, please check out our kidsclubforjesus.org on the website, our new network for kids where we feature on-demand Christ-centered programs. And there are so many wonderful programs that your kids are going to want. We have Chef Ani in the kitchen. She makes beautiful, wonderful recipes. We have adventures with Doug Batchelor. We have nature programs with Rich Aguilera. And we have Kids Time with Miss Brenda. And we have so many others, so please join us, and we really have a lot of fun together. And there's lots of activities to do on our website, too. And don't forget to download our free app on your phones and smart tablets. Just go to your app store and type in Kids Club for Jesus. That's Kids Club for Jesus. Our website, kidsclubforjesus.org. I'll be with you next on Friday this week at 5:30. On same place, Kids Club for Jesus, and I will be having some bedtime stories for kids, and we're going to have a wonderful time just praising Jesus. And also, kids are encouraged to write letters. They can write to me. Melissa will give you the address that you can have your kids to write to me. Post Office Box 2238, Collegedale, Tennessee 37315. And on Sabbath, please join us at 5:30, and we will be on my Brenda Walsh Ministries page on Facebook, live at 5:30, and I'll be playing your favorite songs. So if you already know your favorites, start sending them to me, and maybe if it's something I don't know, I can have time to practice it, but you can send in your favorites, and I'll just play your favorites. And we really have a lot of fun just praising the Lord. You'll also submit your prayer requests, and at the end of the program, we'll have a special prayer for all your prayer requests. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Wasn't this fun today? I just enjoyed being with you. I love you guys. Remember, wherever you go, whatever you do, it's your time to share Jesus. Keep cooking and eat healthy. Bye-bye now.